What lovely weather again, huh?
Yeah.
It seems like every time we do one of these, our weather kind of turns on us a little bit, but then we get lots of people, so that's okay. So we're with the Master Gardeners, so we're trying to do classes every month this year, and like we did last year too. So next, before I get started on the classes, we do got some more water back there, so if you want some water, we have some more water. And if you need paper to write on, raise your hand and she'll pass a piece of paper to you. Take notes. And then there's a questionnaire afterwards to fill out. Just kind of rate how the class was. And if there's any other classes that you guys want, we'll keep on adding classes as long as people want to attend to them. So our next, March 15th, the next class, and it's going to be on square foot gardening and with bees at 6 p.m. So it'll be here again. Is that what we're doing right too, aren't we?
We'll double up and write.
Yeah, so then the following Monday, we do it and write the same class for this one here. They are recorded, as you can see, so if you miss a class, go to our Facebook page, Campbell County Master Gardeners, and we will put the videos, download them up there so you will be able to see the classes. Okay? Any questions before we get started? Okay. Does anybody?
We didn't anticipate this many.
Yeah, thank you for coming, because this helps us with our numbers and educating and getting good speakers in and stuff too. So I want to welcome Nate Foss with Rayne Gardens. We're very fortunate to have him in our city. He knows a lot about the houseplants, so make him run for his money tonight, okay? Ask for questions. We got lots of door prizes too, so we'll be doing drawings in between as he talks.
All right.
Turn it over to you.
Nate from Rayne Gardens here. If you haven't been to the store, you should definitely check it out. It's like a jungle. About a half of you I've seen in there before, so you know that it's a good jungle atmosphere in the store. Then outside we have trees, shrubs, veggies, flowers, all that outside fun stuff. But today we're here for houseplants. Obviously, a lot of people like the houseplants. Main problem with houseplants that everybody has, we love them too much. We water them too much and they die. So probably everybody in here has killed a houseplant or dozens. So that's why we're here. We want to know how to take care of them. Less water, less water. Like I said, main killer, too much water. We think there's something wrong with them. They get all droopy. We give them more water. They get droopier. We give them more water. Then they're done. They drown. So we're killing the roots when we give them way too much water. We might be using the wrong type of soil in there. There's so many different types of soils out there. Some people will tell you that you have to mix your certain soils this way. You got to add some perlite. You got to add vermiculite. You got to put peat moss in there. All that, if that's your flavor, great. But it seems like a giant pain in the butt for most people. There are so many different brands out there now that you can just grab the bag of cactus mix to say, hey, this is going for my cactus, my succulents, my fruit trees that you have inside because we're in Wyoming. So citrus, a lot of fruit-bearing trees that are down south, we can bring them inside if we have enough light for them throughout the 8 months of cold weather. Talk more?
Yep. Can everybody hear in the back? Everybody's good? Yeah. All right.
So 4 months out of the year, we can put a lot of plants outside that are fruit-bearing. These guys, once we put these inside, these are straight divas. They will get mad if they get moved from this table over to this table. If they get too much water, if they get the wrong type of water, if they get the water out of our sink, some will get super angry, go brown tips. So at the store, we don't water anything with straight tap water. It is all reverse osmosis water at Rayne Gardens. At my house, it's all filtered water also, just because I've learned the hard way. You get some browning of the tips, which I'm sure a lot of us, if we go home tonight, we're going to see our plants. There's brown tips. More than likely, it's from all that good stuff that's in our water. What you got, Lydia?
Why is the reverse osmosis water better than tap water?
So it takes out all of those nasty nutrients that the city thinks that we need to have just to keep our water healthy. So reverse osmosis takes out everything. So if we are using that type of water, our plants will need some extra nutrients, so we will have to add fertilizer a little bit more often.
What about a water softener?
They don't like the salt, obviously.
Even though you got it going through reverse osmosis?
No, so the reverse osmosis will take that salt out of the,
Okay.
so at my house, I got the reverse osmosis and the softener.
If we let it sit out in a gallon container,
I do that also, just because my reverse osmosis system isn't large enough for me to water all my plants at once. So I have jugs of water sitting out for at least a week. So no lids, let all that nasty stuff evaporate, and we'll be good. Yeah. Tap water. So just use straight sink water. Just put it in a old milk jug or something. So at my house, I got a dozen of them that sit over by my plants. So it looks kind of ghetto that I have all these milk jugs just full of water. But when it's time to water my little babies, just grab it, fill the plants up, and then refill that and let it sit for however many weeks until I grab that one again.
How do you know if all the stuff has evaporated out of the water?
Let it sit for at least a week, and you should be good.
What's that for a week?
The water.
The jug of water?
Yep, the jug of water is out of our taps.
so that'll pull the chlorine and the minerals out.
Yes, let it evaporate out of there.
And so what about, I mean, you want to bypass your water you don't want to use your softener, right?
Right.
So are you, when you say tap water, can you bypass that softener and just have, and then if you use that water that you've bypassed, just let it sit for a week in a jug, would that be all right to use that way too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
When somebody asks a question, will you repeat it? Because we couldn't hear the question, so we don't know what you were answering.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
I'll start doing that. We should give away a plant right now. So who has ticket number 8? So the last number is 008.
We ran out, there was 50 plans, so the first 50 people got tickets.
Nobody has 008?
I have 08.
Okay, that one. Is that it? Is that how they are, Rich?
Yeah, the last, is it 008?
Not 00, just 0. I think it's
08, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So it
right.
started as 1, 2, 3, 4, yes.
So 08 is the right one?
Did you grab? Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
right.
don't.
You just said number 8, is that what
Yeah.
Yes, you're.
Okay. All right. So right here we got a philodendron moonlight. So this beauty right here, philodendrons are super easy to care for. We want them not to be right up in the window. None of the philodendrons will want to be up there getting sunburnt. So pretty much anywhere else in your house, I'll let you hold on to your baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, away from the window, not direct sun. Otherwise, those big, beautiful leaves will get sunburnt. Watering, simple, once a week type thing, and they're an easy care plant. So if anybody needs easy, philodendrons are the way to go. Some of them are going to get massive, so you got to be prepared on which ones you're going to get. Moonlight's going to get a couple foot by a couple foot eventually. Yes?
Can you address the problem of fungi gnats that come on these plants?
Okay, good old fungus gnats. Everybody hates those dang little things because we'll be sitting down watching TV and it's going to start flying right here, bugging us. We set our coffee down, we set our drink down, whatever. It flies right down in there, drowns itself right there, and then we drink it up. So, fungus gnats, they hate dry soil. They love the moisture. So in our plants, if we keep them nice and damp in there, the adults that are flying in here are going to go find that damp one and lay babies, lay eggs down in there. And after a few days, little babies are going to start crawling out, turning into adults, and just keep doing that whole annoying process that we obviously hate. So dry soil is the easiest one. And I know it's going to kind of be tough for us because we want to water our plants. It's thirsty. It's looking sad. Throw more water on it. No, let them dry out. So at my house, my plants get watered about every 2 weeks. And it took a while for them to get that way. I would have some and they would get super droopy. They would just lay down. They were angry that I was letting them go that long without any water. They are now trained that way. It took probably about 6 months for my plants to become okay with me giving them water every 2 weeks, but now I don't have those dang little gnats. There's all sorts of little chemicals we can sprinkle on the soil. We can spray the soil. We can take all that dirt off there, put new dirt in there, make sure it's dry. But the main thing is just dry your soil out, and that's going to eliminate them. They come inside a lot of the times when we bring plants in from outside. So fall's time, plants coming inside, that's when a lot of people start coming in the store saying, I got these dang little bugs that are flying right around here. How do I get rid of them? And that's just because outside we water, we don't see those dang little things because they're just blown away. Damp soil is the main reason that we have fungus gnats. And they're not really hurting our plants, they're just a pain in our butt, flying in our face. Lydia.
What if the soil doesn't dry out? Like, I have this peperomia
Yep.
that
It likes damp soil, yeah.
it just doesn't dry out. Like, I watered it like 3 weeks ago.
So we probably have some sort of soil that's loving to hold all that moisture in, or we have the wrong type of pots. So all houseplants, just a general rule of thumb, want some drainage. If we have a pot that they're in that the water can't flow out of, so all these pots that you get at the store, they got holes in there so the water can just run out. If we put it in a pretty little purple pot that doesn't have any holes and it's just going to sit in there, that soil's never going to dry out. Even if we give it tiny little doses of water, it's just going to keep accumulating down at the bottom and drown. And again, our plant's gone. We got soggy soil. We're going to get the gnats. So with your peperomia, you do want a damp soil. We just need to check what kind of pot it is. I would just re-pot it into some fresh soil. All right, another plant. Who has 49?
Yep. Yeah, 8
So we got a little fern here. This is a blonde one. So ferns, moisture-loving plants. Want to keep it damp. Want it to try to get those fungus gnats in there. They, again, don't want, most ferns, all ferns, are not going to want to be up at the window. So keep them away a little bit. Damp soil, mist them. When they come in our house, a lot of people struggle with them. We're going to try to baby them as much as we want, and they're going to brown some leaves, and they're going to be messy, and they're going to drop stuff. We see them on our Instagram, on people's houses, and they got these big, beautiful Boston ferns that are hanging. And we bring it inside, and then bam, straight diva, and then we hate it. We want to try to keep them moist, out of the sun. You have to mist those ferns a lot. They are a pain in my butt, if you ask me. So Cody, good job on getting a pain in the butt plant. I'm glad you got it. I knew which number you had.
So you hear that you should spray that, what is it? soda, you know, you're gonna put the soda in there, alkali, okay, and then spray it and mist them and do that? Is there any sense to do that?
I don't think so. So we're gonna see all these fancy little tips and tricks. Most of them just seem like a giant pain in the butt. That we're gonna mix something together. We'll just use our nice water that we are sitting out or filtering and just go mist it with that. They're not getting that kind of stuff outside, so why are we doing that inside? So all these cute little tips and tricks that we see, I used to try them myself. It just seems like a big waste of time. I have never found one that's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. My plant is beautiful just because I crush a bunch of eggshells up and I throw my coffee grounds in there. Pain in the butt, in my opinion. If that's your flavor, have at it. Do it. If you think soaking banana peels in the water and watering your plants with that nastiness is doing them a good job, do it. It's not going to really hurt anything. It just seems like a pain in the butt to do all that process.
I have a question about an avocado.
Avocado question.
So I actually got an avocado to grow from an avocado seed.
Yep.
I'm very proud of myself. And it got to be about 4 feet tall.
Wow.
And now it's struggling.
Okay.
It is like, you know, the leaves are like curling in on themselves.
Okay.
And I also, in addition to that question, I've never gotten an avocado. And I need to know, like, do I need another avocado to cross-pollinate? Do I need bees? What do I need to do to this avocado?
Okay. So avocado started from seed, successful, impressive, 4-footer, bring it inside, struggling during the winter. Lots of fruit-bearing plants, when we bring them inside in Wyoming, they're angry. They are meant to be outside. They're growing down in Arizona, Florida, Texas, California. They are not used to our environment. Citrus trees, avocados, those leaves, those plants want a lot of moisture. Curling usually means they need a better drink. More water for the plant will help with the curling. Producing fruit inside is a huge pain in the butt because we need to pollinate. We need to take the time to pollinate our plants somehow. If we need 2 of them for whatever variety of fruit-bearing plant we have, or we just need to go and literally take that paintbrush that we're going to act like a little busy bee and go into each little flower, pull some pollen from this flower, put it on this one. That's what we do at the store with our fruit-bearing trees during this time. And right now, there's a lot of flowering going on. So when they come inside from the greenhouse in the fall, they get angry. They are angry again. They were outside loving the 90 degrees. They're coming inside, it's humid, it's 72 degrees all the time. They don't like it. They were used to 90 degrees. And so they drop a bunch of leaves. They'll get some browning. They will start acting up. They will start curling. Just like your avocado, same type of care for everything. Not a lot of them are going to actually start producing fruit by just bringing it in the winter, because it is a tedious job going to each one of those little flowers to pollinate it to let it produce. Other plants won't even flower inside just because, again, they're grown outside in the wild. They come inside, they're divas. They are not going to do the same thing. So more water for the curling. We're going to have to look for flowering. Has it ever flowered yet? Okay. So we're just going to have to try to find a happier spot for it. Again, they love heat. They like the hot. They love the sunshine. And they love water. Clear in the back.
So on the citrus, how often do you do that with a paintbrush?
Every day, to pollinate your little flowers on your citrus, if they are throwing out little flowers, we are going to try to pollinate them every single day And that's why it's a pain in the butt, because it's tedious. Those tiny little white flowers, we're just trying to pull that little yellow pollen off and go to each little stinking flower so we can hopefully produce a cute little lime or a cute little lemon. It's so much easier in the summertime when the bees can do it for us, but every day will improve your chances to just go through when they're flowering out.
A lot of nice flowers.
Yep, get a cute little paintbrush and start pollinating.
So if you start, so I have 2 avocado seeds that I've started.
2 what?
2 avocado seeds
Okay.
I've started, and they have roots and they have little sprouts. If I just keep them inside all the time, will they flower? Or do I have to put them outside?
So the question was, 2 little avocados started. They are rooting. They have started to sprout. Wanted to know what we need to do to make avocados. Again, it's going to be very difficult if we keep them inside the whole time. I would highly recommend putting them outside in the summer. I put my citrus outside starting in June. Keep it out in July, August, September, and then 8 months they come inside. And every year that I haven't abused them, they have produced lemons and limes for me. My first year I had them, I put them outside in May after keeping them alive, before Rayne Gardens was even a thing, even a thought, and I thought I was kicking some butt. I had these cute little citrus plants, kept them alive all winter, put them outside, it frosted one night, and boom, all the leaves fell off the next day. I thought I killed them, and I was babying them, because who doesn't want lemon and limes on your own tree at your house? It took all summer for them to re-leaf, so I didn't get any fruits that year. And the next 3 years, I did get lemons and limes. I'm a little impatient on letting the fruits ripen on your citrus trees. So if you pull them off too soon, they will not ripen anymore. They're not like a banana. So citrus, you let it ripen straight on the tree. I've never let them ripen all that time because I just get too antsy, and they still taste amazing. One year I put them outside, hail nailed them, knocked all my fruits off, and that's only the second year that I didn't get any fruits because they were hammered by the hail. But I have lemons and limes on them at the moment right now. They'll be, hopefully I can wait because there's quite a few on them now. So they've been going for 6 years now.
When you put them outside, they're not in direct sun, or are they?
Yes, they love that hot. They love it. So I put them right out in the sunny spot, and they're gonna thrive out there. All right, number 25. Who has 25? Boom. String of pearls. Type of succulent.
I could probably grow that because I don't water plants.
Okay, so string of pearls. People love them because they're nice and cute. Type of succulent, they're going to hang down. One of the biggest divas out there for succulents. So if you have ever had a string of pearls, you probably had 2 because you killed the first one. I've killed multiples of them. The best way that we've found out to take care of them is to let them bottom water. So also known as butt chugging for the plants. So set them in a tray, just a simple little plastic tray. Let them sit for about half hour, soak up a bunch of that water. They want to be in the sun, but again, not right up in that window. So they want to get some sun rays shining down on them, but not for probably more than 6 hours a day. So give them a little bit of sunshine throughout the day and let them dry out. When they get long enough, we want to propagate them again. So we're just going to chop some of those long strings off and we are going to wrap them around up in the soil, let them root right back in there, and start the process over again. So they're real easy to propagate, but they're also real easy to kill. So we don't want to water too much. That's the main killer, once again. And by top watering, because their root system isn't too crazy down in there, so let them soak up towards their roots, and they will be a lot happier rather than just drenching the top and drowning those roots. Who's all killed a string of pearls? 10, 20, 30. Number 34. Boom. Give him a, he gets the easiest one here. I just got to find it now. And
Ignore those ladies.
boom. I'm ignoring the ladies. You get a ZZ. So a ZZ, probably the easiest plant out there. When people come into the store and they are not a plant person yet, they kill plants, they say, and they ask me, I need an easy to care plant. I don't have very good light. I don't know what I'm doing. I take them to the snake plants and the ZZs. ZZs are a little harder to come across, so they're a little more expensive. They are the easiest plant out there.
How do you spell that?
Is it ZZ?
There's a Z and one more Z. Otherwise, we're going to say Zamioculcas zamiofolia. ZZ's way easier to say. So we'll just do ZZ. There's big old bulbs down in here that are going to hold a lot of water. On this plant, it's bulging out just because they store a bunch of moisture in here. So if you don't water this plant till, say, the end of May, you're going to be okay. It's still going to love you. So we got some new growth coming out of here. New growth is always a little bit brighter green, and it will just start getting taller and taller and taller. So you can put this one in a closet in the back, go on vacation for a month, come back, it's still going to be amazing. ZZ is the easiest plant out there. There's a more rare one. It's called the Raven. Its leaves will turn black. So they're really, really dark. But when they start out, they're bright, bright green. So you can always see the new growth, and then you'll just see them transitioning into a real nice dark color. But ZZs. So that plant will eventually become a nice, large, fake-looking plant. It's going to feel rubbery. Easiest one out there.
What kind of light, ideally, for that plant?
Anything but right by the window.
Anything but direct?
Yes. Yep, anything. Pure darkness all the way to a few feet away from the windows.
Hibiscus plants.
Okay.
Every year I get them. They're outside. They bloom. I bring them inside, and it's ugly.
Yeah. Yep. Hibiscus plants, keeping them inside. They hate that. I order them every winter also for our store because they are a big, beautiful flowering plant. They show up from Florida. About 2 days later, they're like, oh, I hate Wyoming. It sucks here. They're just going to start dropping their leaves no matter how much water we're giving them, how dry we're letting them get, how much light we're getting. Putting them inside, they are not a happy camper. The best luck we've had is right by the window, though, and giving them a drink about every 2 to 3 days. And so they do a beautiful job outside, but bringing them inside during the cold season, they're a huge diva. And where was that one? Let's do number 3. 03. Boom. All right. We have a dragon tail somewhere. Where are you? Aha. So this is a newer plant out there. It will climb up whatever you let it climb up. So it will like something to climb up. If it's a moss pole, if it's a ladder, if it's a wall, this plant will climb and get nice, big, beautiful leaves. Super easy to care for again. Not right up in the window. Water about once a week and just watch it grow quickly. And I have one that's climbing up a nice big trellis, and I've only had it for a month, and it's probably already grown a foot. So it's over the top.
What was that called?
It's a dragon tail. Okay, 50. Whoa. So we have a peperomia silver frost. I'll come back to you. What's up, Catherine? There is your baby. So a peperomia. Lots and lots of different peperomias in the family. That's a silver frost, so it's a little silver, shiny silver, has darker green little indentations in the leaves. But any peperomia is going to like the moist soil. So we're going to, whenever we say moist for any plants, if you wring out a washcloth and it's kind of feeling that damp, that's what you want the top of the soil to feel like. So you're going to read all sorts of stuff on how to take care of the plants, and none of them are ever going to say soggy unless it's a swampy loving plant. So when they say moist, it's just that little damp feeling. So it's hard to differentiate, whatever word I just tried saying, in the difference between what they're saying on a lot of water, a little bit of water, dryness, just damp to the touch on the top for any of them. Yes, Catherine?
Do you water them from the bottom also?
We don't. We just water on top. We set a lot of our plants on trays. So if we are running on short time, we can just dump water on this big old tray and let them soak it up. But for the most times, we will go through our plants and try to look at each one, give it a nice little drink. So if you have the time, just top water. Succulents, cactus, a lot of bottom watering, pretty much everything else we try to top water. But
Light does that take?
if I don't tell you what kind of light, we want mid-light. So mid-light is the easiest way. So if we had a window right here, just about all those plants are going to love it right there. If I'll tell you it can go further back away from it, the window, then they're going to be more of a shade loving. They don't want to really get any of that sunlight. And I will tell you if we want it right up next to the window. But for the most part, just about any plant. So if you get a plant wherever, the best way to take care of it, just keep it a little bit away from the window. If your window's getting, if you like have a south window, they're going to get nice and hot around here. East windows, north windows, they don't really matter. You can put just about anything in those windows. Catherine?
Sorry. Okay, I have another question. So it's winter time and all my plants are inside now, and I have some green lights that are above all my plants, and they're really getting very leggy. Do you think that I should put fans on them also?
So if they're getting leggy, they're looking for light.
Yeah.
So if we put a,
Closer?
yes. Try to find a better light source. if any of our plants are getting real long stems, they're just searching for light. Same thing like when we start our seeds. If we don't have that light nice and close to those seeds, you're going to have a real long stem right away, and this plant's just not going to be very stable. It's going to get...
Different kinds, some will touch the light, some aren't, but you have to have it kind of so they touch it. Is it gonna affect them if it's just like a fluorescent grow light?
It will probably burn the leaves. If the plant is touching the light source, it will probably burn the leaf. All right, number 2, 02.
That would be me.
Oh. Probably the second easiest plant out there, type of snake plant. Mother-in-law's tongue, devil's tongue. Sansevieria is the actual name. Nobody wants to say that word. So snake plant sounds a little cooler. Yep, it sure does have a baby, as I throw dirt all over. So little babies will shoot out from the bottom of snake plants and reach on out wherever. This one's ready to blow out the side of this pot. Tons of different varieties of snake plants. There are going to be nice, beautiful yellow-edged ones. There's going to be nice green ones. There's going to be crazy starfish-looking ones. So lots of different snake plants, super easy care. Again, we do not want them up in the window. They will get sunburned. They will get brown, black spots on there. We can forget to water these guys for about a month, and they will still love us. They will still shoot out new babies. Some of the varieties will grow 6 foot tall in our houses for us. We do not want to put them right up in the window, pretty much anywhere else. Second easiest plants to take care of, snake plants. ZZ's the first one.
Can I ask? She doesn't want to let the babies growing all up in there, right? Does she want to transplant those or make another plant?
Yep.
She's just going to let them get bushy. Or just full.
So the question was, do we want to keep the baby in there? That's totally your preference. If you want to transplant it, when we pull this out, can I pull it out?
Sure, go
Okay.
ahead. Don't kill it. Yeah, it's yours.
I know where I can get you another one.
Well, and it's kind of, I have agaves, and that's what they get is the little babies. Yeah, isn't that neat?
So crazy root systems going on throughout here. We're gonna have another baby showing up this side. We're gonna show one right here. If we wanted to start this baby as another plant, we're literally going to go in there. We're going to break it apart down below. It's going to be scary the first time that you do it. You're like, oh, I'm going to kill this plant. You'll get better at it, and you'll be okay with the first time because the snake plant is an easy one to take care of. So you'll just get in there, you will snap it apart, and you can transplant it into a different pot if you want to. If you want a big cluster, you just go into a bigger pot.
So do you water from above or below on those?
I water on top. So my snake plants at my house are positioned underneath my hanging plants. So when I water my plants up top here, instead of trying to put them in the sink or something, let them drip a little bit, they just drip on my snake plants. And snake plants are super easy. Everybody should have about a dozen of them. So then they just go down there and they just collect that water. That's all I do with them. So I do not water my snake plants. They just get dripped on and they love it.
What kind of soil, would that be cactus soil in there or would not?
Cactus succulent soil will be totally fine for them because it will be nice and fast draining. You can use just regular potting soil. Snake plants are super easy. They're going to love you no matter what.
So my question is, I've heard that to keep once they get so tall, to keep the leaves twisting, that you're supposed to rotate the pot. Is that something, or is that?
You can. So the question was, with the leaves kind of twisting around, we just want to rotate it. If you have it further back in your house away from the windows, it's not going to matter. It's not going close to the light. So that's with any plant. If we want, say this plant, this is a real easy one to see. If this one, any of your plants start just reaching this way towards the light, turn it around. So then it's reaching this way, and then it will reach back that way. So you can twist any of your plants to make them grow more towards the light. That goes for any of them.
Thanksgiving cactus.
Okay, Thanksgiving cactus.
Is that something you want to water from the bottom or just dry? Because I wait for it to get dry, about
Right.
an inch down.
Mhm.
And then I drowned it and then I just let the water soak through.
How long you had it?
Well, one of them I have had for several years, but I have another one, and I just can't get it to grow. It's just like stunts. It's just sitting there. I don't know what to do with it. I took pictures because I know that you said we could take pictures.
Yep. Okay.
I wrote pictures, but see this one? It's
Mhm.
just taken off.
Yep.
I put it in a nice rounder pot.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I'm still waiting for it to grow just to fit in that pot. It's just,
I just moved that one. So Christmas cactus, holiday cactus, Thanksgiving cactus, Easter cactus, whichever cactus you have. The question was top watering, bottom watering, one's thriving, one's not. The one that's thriving is closer to the window. They love windows. They love that sun. I would pop that little one right next to it.
up there?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
And just keep doing what you're doing. Because you've already had it for years. You're doing good, just top watering. It's easy. Yep, just top water on the cactus when they start blooming. So during the holidays, blooming, they're going to want a little bit more water. So during the summer, if we have a holiday cactus, they're not flowering, they're just kind of there. Treat them like a cactus, a succulent, forget about them. Just let them stay up there in the window, let them dry out completely, and then all of a sudden you'll see, oh, I better give you a drink. They're going to love you.
Is the difference between like the Thanksgiving cactus, the Christmas, and the Easter just the color of the bloom?
No, 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 it's the shape of the leaves. So there's going to be some people out there that are going to be crazy Christmas cactus fanatics. And they will come in and they're like, that is a holiday cactus. The growers mostly have holiday cactus. Christmas cactus is a real specific version. And you're just going to look at the points of the leaves, how they're all shaped. If you're looking exactly for that, it's going to be hard to find a straight Christmas. Just imagine that you're getting a holiday cactus if you're getting any of them. You might get lucky and actually get a Christmas cactus. An Easter cactus, a spring cactus also, they're getting ready to start blooming right now. They're going to have more rounded leaves. And they'll start, like I said, start blooming here in another month or so. Your holiday cactuses may still be blooming right now. Mine is.
Mine is too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, mine's getting ready to bloom. Yeah.
Perfect.
My question is, on my cactus, holiday cactus, Christmas, whatever, it's in a pot only about this big.
Okay.
It's gotten quite large.
Yeah.
What is rule of thumb for repotting, or is there anything? Leave them in this small one, put them in a bigger one? What happens? What do you do?
So repotting a holiday cactus, it's been, how long you had it in that pot?
2 years at least.
Okay, so let's put it in a bigger home. Let's get it going, let it spread out a little bit, and they're super easy to propagate. Again, we're just going to cut a little chunk off of it. We're going to just shove it right back there in the soil. It's going to root again, and now it's going to start getting fuller and fuller. So if it's already grown a little bit more, sacrifice some of those longer ones and make a fuller arrangement.
Plastic pot, ceramic pot, terracotta, anything in particular?
Whatever your
Bottom
flavor
drainage.
is.
Bottom drainage. Though.
Bottom drainage. So the question was terracotta, plastic, ceramic. It's all going to be your preference. Don't let anybody tell you that it has to be in this certain pot. We can make dang near anything work if you're willing to work at it. So whatever your flavor is, go that route.
I have one more question on this snake plant. What do you do when the big, these start coming down. I mean, and they do after, I've had one like that before, and they just kind of start, the leaves start falling down.
Okay, so when they start drooping a little bit more is what the question was on a snake plant. Say we're getting this nice big droopy leaf that's just sticking out. Easiest way is to just cut it right on off. And I'm going to sacrifice somebody's leaf here. So we're just going to pull off this leaf, and you're going to slice it with your sharp object, whatever it is. And I would recommend doing it at an angle. We're just going to cut it just like that. And then we're going to stick it in a new pot, or we're going to stick it right in there. We're going to start another plant. I have also started these in straight water. I have a few different varieties that I just did this, and they're sitting in water. They've been in water for years. They're going to be nice, slow growing, but you get to start seeing the roots in there, and it's a fun little conversation piece just to show somebody that, hey, I just cut this chunk off. The reason I cut it at an angle is so this next leaf, it's not going to grow back into a point. So it's always going to have that angled cut. That's the reason I did that. So that's the easiest route to take care of your saggy leaf going on.
Does it take a while for it to root in the water? I mean to where you see it? Is it like months and months?
No. It's going to be about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
2 to 3 weeks before you start to see the root again in the water.
We were just gonna say, for sake of time,
Yeah, I know.
I think we'll go through the plants if it's something real wacky.
We're staying here till midnight. I'm hoping you're okay with that.
You know what, everybody, if you have questions you can't answer tonight, Rayne Gardens, I answer it all the time, with all his animals. Chickens, dogs, you name it.
Okay, let's go number 1. Boom. Alocasia Pauli, also known as an African mask. Again, simple light, not right up in the window, and there's a bunch of new babies coming out of here. They are going to all be curled up nice and tight when they start coming out, and they will unfurl. But they got nice rubbery feeling leaves, simple care, once a week watering type deal.
What mask? I like that.
African mask, also known as a poly. Yes, Catherine. Yes, so some people are going to see this thing die off. It will be angry in your house some winters. I have had mine go angry. These leaves may die off in the winter. You think your plant is dying. Don't throw it out. It's still alive down below.
You just cut it off, or you just...
Yeah, so your leaf will turn super ugly and it'll all brownish, kind of fall off. Just cut it off, leave the bulb down in the bottom. 4. You get a bird nest fern. So, simple fern, bird's nest. Again, ferns, moisture loving. If we plant ferns outside, they're more in a shady area. They like the damp. They're used to the forest floor, whatever forest they're coming from. If it's a rainforest, forest that we're used to, whatever you call those. Bird nest fern though, so it's always going to kind of have an opening in the middle that would look like a bird made a nest. That's why they're called that way. So a bunch of different varieties. Number 5, you get a banana tree. So this is a dwarf banana, nice big leaves. Bananas love hot. They love hot temperatures. They like the moisture. This mini version, it will get about 6 foot tall in our house. Do not plant them outside, I recommend. I tried it this past year just because I wanted to see what the heck would happen. I was prepared to fully mulch, feet of mulch on top of it to keep it alive in the soil. It might be a little windy here in Wyoming, and those big, beautiful leaves lasted about a day and a half, and then I just had this stem, so that was a huge fail. So let me fail on the banana trees outside, keep it inside.
When you say lots of moisture, are you talking like you want to keep this real damp?
Not real, again, damp to the touch. So I'm pulling it out again.
So does it like need humidity then?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily? Okay.
So there's some good roots in there.
Okay.
Eventually, the banana will die. The whole tree will die off. If it produces fruit for you, you're awesome. And that plant will die off after it produces fruit. So all those plants, after they make bananas, they are done. You might as well just chop it off. There's new pups coming out of the bottom, down below where we see. That's how the banana plants replicate. They'll shoot off another baby down through the bottom.
Right.
And and you'll have some new babies, so new plants.
Nate, I have a question.
Yeah.
So how do you keep your cats from eating them?
Kick them.
How do I keep them? They eat the ends of my plants. It's like,
And obviously they're not poisoned because they're still alive.
Yeah. As for keeping them out of your house plants, you just got a pain in the ass cat. It's probably what you have. 2 of them. There's nothing really that we want to put on our indoor plants that's going to be successful. It's going to stink in your house. You do not want to put this cat scram stuff on your plants. Again, as for poisonous plants, if you read on the internet, dang near every house plant is going to be poisonous to the animals. How many people have taken their pet to the vet because it ate a plant and it died? Weird. So you might get a tummy ache. We ate something that we didn't like. If your cat or your dog came and ate a bunch of your plant, they might puke. It might give them an upset tummy. They might poop funny for a little bit. It's not going to kill them. I went to the vets when we first started because I was getting this question a lot for poisonous plants. And I went to the vets and asked them, I was like, hey, what plants are poisonous? And they started listing all those normal plants that we see on the internet, like this one's poisonous, this one's poisonous. And I said, no, I don't want to know the internet plants. I want to know what you have seen personally. Some animal came in from eating some house plant and it was sick, like you had some issues. The only ones were some lilies that the cats went and they sniffed, like outside lilies. They got that nasty orange pollen and the cats were sniffing on that. Kind of made them sick. Made them stupid for a little. Didn't kill them, it just made them sick. That's the only one 2 different vets told me. As for eating, let the dang things snack on them and get an upset tummy and then learn, hopefully. And if not, kick them. 6, I think we're at. Boom. And Mason, you should have kept these in order for me. So, another philodendron. This is a Rojo Congo. It's going to start off as a cute little green baby. It's going to start getting bigger and bigger. And as it gets a little bit older, those leaves are going to start turning a nice burgundy red. And that plant is going to get huge. It's not going to get super tall, but it's going to take up a huge amount of space. So have fun with that one. Again, simple care. Nothing easy, or nothing hard. It's going to be an easy one. Water. I have one in my house. Again, water it once every 2 weeks.
Now, does that have to stay in the house if it's going to get that big?
Yeah. So none of these are going to go outside. So even like these ferns, once they've started becoming inside, we're just going to kill them if we put them outside. The cactus, succulents, you can put in a pot. Citrus, the fruits, the avocados, we can put in a pot, put it outside. we got to bring them back in.
What was that called again?
That's a Rojo Congo. It's a type of philodendron. Yeah. 7. Oh, shoot. Okay, now we got a pothos. We haven't talked about pothos yet. Super easy. Every plant parent should have a pothos. This is called an Enjoy. It has a nice, cool white look to it. You can always put these just on your countertop, somewhere high, let them dangle. You can have them hang. They are just a nice, pretty white and green plant. Pothos, there's a bunch of different varieties. Again, super easy care. And do whatever you want. If you want to start a new one, all we got to do is cut off a chunk. We can just get it started rooting in some water. If you do start rooting any plants in water, change your water frequently. Don't just let it sit there and get all gross, stinky smelling, and then you're like, oh shoot, I should probably change my water. The plant's still going to be okay, more than likely. You're just using some nasty water around your house. Change it. The plant's going to be even happier. Fish tank water. If you got a fish tank, throw your little cuttings right in there. They're going to do a lot better. They're going to be a lot more successful. If you want to get crazy, get like Cody here, who has cloning machines all over. He just cuts up plants and clones them, gets them all rooted up. Oh, now we got 9. We got a peace lily. Another easy one that everybody should have. They're going to like a little bit more drink. These can get nice and large, massive. They're going to throw out cute little white flowers. As they get bigger, the flower is going to get larger.
Allergic to them, though.
You're allergic to them?
Yeah.
Good thing you didn't win it. These ones will definitely let you know if you have not watered it for a while. They will be laying down. You'll wake up one morning and your plant will look like death. Give it a nice drink. It will pop right back up by the end of the day. We don't want to let that happen too often where we're letting it go down, letting it come back up. So just kind of after we'll figure out a nice watering schedule. You want it? There you go, hon.
Thank you. So I killed mine.
Uh-oh.
And it got overwatered. I went away on vacation and I had a pet sitter and a house sitter and they didn't talk to each other and they both hit it.
Yeah.
Is there a way, can you recover a plant that's been watered too much? I mean, can you yank it out of the pot and try and?
Yes, so question was, plant got watered too much. No matter what plant it is, we want to try to save it. We don't want to let our plant baby die. So with that peace lily, it was watered by multiple people, way too much. It was drowning. If you can catch it fast enough, yes, pull it out of the soil. We're going to look for some nice white roots down inside. That will just mean there's some life on them. We want them to look nice and white. If they are drowned, if it is too late, we let them go too long, they're going to be black, they're going to be soggy, they're just going to fall off, the plant's a goner. So if your plant is struggling by too much water, pull it out as soon as possible when you find out. With the peace lily, it will grow pretty quickly. And if it continues to just kind of droop down no matter how much you're watering it, it probably needs a bigger home. We see that quite often. People will bring their plants in, their peace lilies in, and we just pull it out of the container or their pot, and we'll show them that it's pretty much just all roots. It's taken up. There's no soil in there to hold the moisture. So it will outgrow its pot fairly quickly. Yes?
I've got a couple of peace lilies.
Yeah?
That I think I was overwatering.
Okay.
I definitely got sunburned. I took them out of the sun and I stopped watering them so much. I was wondering if you could look at it.
Yeah.
To see. They're kind of.
Okay.
We got
So the peace lilies got sunburnt. They were overwatered. There's still life to them. There's still some nice uprightness. There's going to be some ugly parts. Just cut that brown part off. So just take some scissors. Don't cut the whole leaf off. Just trim off the brown. They will come back. You'll start to see more life. Easy on the watering. Don't put it out in the sun again. Peace lilies like it a little bit away from the windows. You'll be good.
You don't have water dripping down on these plants, do they? You want to mist those, or the ones this lady has here, the snake plant? Do you miss that or no?
The question was, do you want to mist your plants? Snake plant in particular. It's going to make us feel better that we're misting them, so mist them. They are not usually getting a lot of benefits if we're just going to take a squirt bottle and spray our plants, but it makes us feel better. We're like, oh yeah, you're beautiful now. Bigger, nice leaves like this, we should probably spray them just to keep them clean, because big leaves will get dusty. They'll get dirty. So just spray them off. It just makes us feel better. For the most part, the plants are not getting any more benefit from us spraying.
I've seen where you can buy like the spray you put on your leaves to make them shiny. Is that something you should do?
If you want to sell a plant, if I want to sell a plant to you guys right now, I will have my mom get that leaf shine out and shine this beauty up. And we're going to set it right up here. You're going to walk in. You're like, dang, look at that plant. It's shiny. What?
Is it good for it?
It does. It's not going to hurt it. Most plants can take it. There's going to be certain ones that do not like it. Every one is a little bit different for the leaf shine. Yeah, don't do it to fuzzy leaves. Fuzzy leaves don't like to be wiped on. But for the most part, that's just what plant places will do. If you want to show off your plants, shine them up. That's it. It's not going to hurt them for the most part, and it's just going to make you feel better again.
Well, the place I take care of their plants, they want me to come shine their.
Yeah, they want to sell those dang things.
No, they're not selling it. It's the church.
Oh, the church then. Yeah.
They want me to come shine them.
Yeah, show them off. Shine them up. All right. Number 10. We have an ivy. And so ivy. People like the ivies just because they're going to be a nice, easy, hanging over plant. These ones can be outside plants in a pot. If we plant them in the ground, they're not going to make it around here. They're just a nice trailing. That was yours, right?
Yep.
Okay. So most ivies, they will grow easily. They don't want to be straight in the sun. They will like some dampness, shadier type plants, kind of like the ferns. If we let the ivies dry out, and if you've had an ivy of yourselves, for yourself in your house, you let it dry out pretty good, they are really prone to a little bug called spider mites. So they'll make these nasty little webs, and the spider mites are tiny little creatures that will suck the life right out of your plant. So keep those leaves. Those would be a nice one to have a humidifier by, which we do at our store, have a humidifier by our ivy, or just to go mist. So that is one of the plants that we would like to mist.
And that's just because they're more susceptible to spider mites?
Yeah, I don't know why, but spider mites love the ivies. 11. Did you guys all come in together? Holy cow. Okay, arrowhead plant. Easy to care. See, box stores have these guys all the time. This one's a strawberry cream one. When we start seeing some pink colors go on, some unnormal colors that we would normally not see in a plant, that means they're going to want a little bit more light just to keep that color. If we put the colorful plants further away from the sun, they will lose their color. They'll turn green. They will not have that cute little pink color going on. So a little bit closer to the window. In the summer, make sure it's just not in the south window. Otherwise, those leaves will get sunburnt. Again, simple care, once a week watering type deal, and the arrowhead plant will love you. You're welcome. $12. Not at that table? Over here. Okay, we got a Croton Freckles. This one does want to be in the window. It wants to see as much sun as possible. It wants to keep this beautiful color configuration going. That's yours. New growth will be nice and green. Then we want to have it right up in that window. It's going to turn all these leaves whatever color the crotons are. So these grow down in obviously the nice warm tropical places. They use them as hedges. They just grow nuts. We try to keep this cute little plant alive around here. So it's going to be up in the window. When your plants are up in the window, they're going to get a little hotter. They're going to dry out a little quicker. We want to give them a little bit more drink when they're going to be up in the window area. This plant can get feet tall. Yours, right?
Like it.
All right, I'm glad. That's the Freckles. All right, now we're at 13. Oh, boom. We have an Areca palm. So palms are going to like to be up in the sun a little bit more. This used to be an endangered species. Now they're all over the place down in Florida, and they are considered a weed down there now. And we're going to love these plants up here in Wyoming as much as we can. These will get to be as tall as we are in our house. Good watering. That one's a little bit drier, so it could use a drink now. But again, somewhere a little closer to the window, not right up in the south window in the summer. Those leaves will get sunburnt inside our window, even though they are outside in Florida. Again, divas once they come inside. 14. So now you got the Swiss cheese philodendron. So we got these cool leaves, and that's why it has the Swiss cheese name. So it has a big old fancy name that I don't even want to try saying. If anybody knows how to say it, go for it. But Swiss cheese is way easier to say, and it makes a lot more sense to everybody. Super easy to care for. Lots of growth will happen. Again, the leaves will unfurl. They'll be nice and tightly wrapped when they come out, and they'll just open up. The fun part is when a new leaf will be poking through the hole, and you'll have a vine sticking right through.
Now, do I water this often?
Once a week.
Once a week, okay, and close to a window, middle of the room.
Same thing like a pothos. We're just gonna.
Cannot get those to root.
You need a cloning machine like Cody. I'll show you next time you're at the store, Lorna. All right, now we're at 15. We got another fern. This is probably one of the easiest type of ferns to take care of. This is a rabbit's foot. So it's going to have these little fronds down below that if we wanted to start a new plant from, we would take this little fuzzy part down at the bottom, pull it out, and there should be a new leaf, stem sticking out of the plant where we can start a new baby. A lot of these plants will be used as a hanging plant because these little furry rabbit's feet will start reaching over the edges and start climbing down the side of the pot. They'll start looking kind of like tarantula legs. So when we do have them in the hanging pots at the store, some people freak out because hate spiders. They do look like little tarantula legs in there. But super easy to care. Again, type of fern. Keep it damp. Don't put it straight out in the sun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And 1, 6, 11, 16. All right, you get the Brazil. So you're getting a type of philodendron. It's the Brazil. Simple, easy care again. It's going to grow massively, going to hang everywhere. It's going to have a cute little yellow line down the center of the leaf. And that's what we're going to have.
Is that going to hang down like this?
Yes, yes. So this is just a baby. They will get nice and massive. This is yours? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and chances are it won't.
They won't get massive? 6. Shit, what was that? 5, 10, 15, 17. Okay. Simple aloe. Aloe vera. Type of succulent. Again, lots of people have success with this. Just leave it alone. Pretty much when it's at your house, near a window. Treat it like a succulent. Let it dry out. Give it a good drink. And it will love you. This is one that you can just snap the twig off. Say you get a little burn on your hand. Say you got a cut, scratch, something. You just rub that right on there. If it's getting too much sun, the leaves will get sunburnt, kind of turn a little yellowish.
Should I transplant this? It looks like it.
Yeah, look how big that thing is for that pot.
It might tip over.
I know, you need a bigger pot. 6, 11. 18.
Go on down to Rayne Gardens.
So another type of peperomia. This is a watermelon. So it kind of looks like a watermelon. That's why we're going to go that route. These ones are super easy if we want to make babies. We're going to take a leaf off, we're going to cut it, and we're going to set it right down in that soil. It's going to root, it's going to start a new baby. But do you have one of those yet?
No.
Jeez. I know. Just grab a leaf next time you're in the store, huh? But again, simple care, nice and damp soil, and just watch it grow. Will you take care of this for me? Thank you. $19. Uh-oh. Sorry for cutting up your plant earlier. But this is a nice snake plant, nice big one. The version is a jaboa. Just means it's dark green leaves.
No, it's
20. Oh, right there. Yes. So, this one? This is a type of agrionema. That's a pain in the butt to say. Chinese evergreen is way easier. Super easy to care for. We're going to find Chinese evergreens all around the stores just because they are so easy to care for. Again, not right up in the window, just normal plant care, once a week watering. Just enjoy the cool colors of the leaves.
So it doesn't need to be, to keep that pink, it doesn't need to be in the window.
Nope, not right in the window. Just keep it away a little bit. Uh-oh, 22.
Right here.
So this beauty, this is an Aralia Ming. In the mornings, when the sun is kind of shining on it, this thing's going to smell like maple syrup. So you just kind of brush it. When I was carrying it this morning, getting it prepped, I had maple syrup right in my face, just loving it. So it is crazy. An Aralia Ming.
Does it smell right now?
No. So it's going to need some sunshiny to activate it.
Oh, I gotta see.
This one will get angry if we mistreat it. It will start to turn a lot of yellow and then to brown. Super easy to care for though, with our just normal, not putting it right in the sun, just letting it get a little bit throughout the day, and normal watering.
You didn't see me have to.
Jeez. We're staying till midnight, Cody. $23. You get the fortune tree. So the fortune tree, obviously they name it that because you're supposed to get good luck around you. They're just braided, just to be nice and cute. They will grow feet tall. That is a fortune tree. And if we have that one away from the light, it will get super leggy. So if we have it way too far away from the window, it will start reaching for that, and you won't have a nice full looking tree. It will stretch out and it will go way over. And so then you'll have to turn it around so then it stretches back. I recommend it a few feet away from the window so it will stay nice and full. Yeah.
So you said it was braided, so once it gets bigger, do you have to keep doing that, or does it kind of automatically do that on its own?
It won't do it anymore. You can try to keep braiding it so the new growth will be nice and flimsy. So somebody took the time, whoever was growing that, and they went and braided all those up when they were still nice and green and flexible before they turned woody. So if you want to take the time to try to keep doing that, more power to you. That's just a huge pain in the butt to me, so I just let mine go.
So what is it going to look like when you let it go then? I mean, is it just all going to be straight up, or is it going to kind of...
Oh, it's going to fill out. You're going to get a nice large tree eventually.
Water about once a week?
Yep. 22, 23, 24. Chinese money plant. So these ones were super hard to get when we first opened up. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. We found some at a wholesale grower, and we grabbed some, my mom and I, and we didn't know what the heck we were getting. And we didn't realize that they were super expensive at the time. They're a lot more reasonable now. Right here, over here. Oh, sorry. They're also known as a UFO plant. They will like to be a little closer to the window. Otherwise, they will also reach out. They are easy to propagate and make babies. So in the plant, there's one main one, kind of like the mother, and there's going to be a lot of pups throughout. We can just go in, separate those, give them to our friend. Now they have one, and just keep doing that. If we let it grow up, it's going to need staked to stay upright. If we let it go crazy, like I have at my house, I got one branch just making its way over this way and one just making its way over that way, and they're just kind of reaching out. So whatever your flavor is, if you want it to look a little crazy or if you just like nice and uniform. 25. I already did 25?
You skipped around.
It's when you were skipping around.
Jeez.
While Nate's doing that, everybody,
How about 21 then?
I was just gonna, 6 classes that we have coming up this year, we had suggestions for gardening, grow tent setup, herb gardens, herb use. Last year, the county extension agent from the next
Super
county
easy to
over,
care.
she came and showed us
Flowers
how
will
to
last for months.
prepare, to to dry our plants.
You'll just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Jellies, canning.
Simple care.
So we have lots of classes. Check our site. We also do the garden walk. The Master Gardeners do the garden walk in the summertime. And that guy in the back of the room is setting that up this year. He's already got some cool things that we're going to be doing. Some real good giveaways. Places are going to be sponsoring gardens this year. So watch for that. So a lot more to come. What else are we doing, John? Actually, we have our last class. So just keep looking. When's the tree sale? Tree sale's coming
This
up.
first week in May. You can find the forms online or at our office, the extension office.
Yep. Or if you want to become a master gardener, give Andy a call over the extension, the agent, always looking for new gardeners.
And Scott Skogerbo, right, is gonna be here in April. April 16th, and that's a Saturday. And he is from Colorado State.
You are gonna wanna hear this. Super duper. He propagates his own trees. Anyways, he's at the Johnny Appleseed. I'm talking about. What else is trying to keep Propagates, 4,000 springs, giveaways, that's coming up, so just keep tuned to us on, the Master Garden.
We ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do a plug.
Okay, that beautiful anthurium with the red flowers. That is the Nebraska version. There's a bunch of different little flavors of them. Mostly reds. There's some pinks, some whites for the flowers. Simple care. Again, once they're happy, they will flower. Those flowers last for quite a while, good month at least. Simple care. Not right up in the window, just a few feet away, and they will eventually become a nice big 2x2 plant.
So when the flower dies,
Yeah?
you just cut it off?
Yeah. Yep. So you'll go down to the bottom of that stem and just get rid of it. '26. Jade plant. Jade, super easy to care, super easy to propagate. This is just a baby. They can get big and woody. It's a type of succulent. If a leaf falls off, just let it sit on the soil. It will start rooting in a few days, and then you just plant that one again and you have another jade.
So as people are leaving, should we cover these plants up with our coats or?
Oh, shoot. Yeah. We got bags.
I just,
Maybe put them by the door on their way out.
okay, yeah. I brought a bunch of old banners.
Sure, if you wanted to. We could just pass and start at one end.
You mean they don't like frozen flying water on them?
They do like the snow. 27. Goldfish plant. So just a little baby right now. It will flower. Usually they start flowering around springtime. They will have little orangish red flowers that look like goldfish. Treat it kind of like a succulent. Let it dry out and then give it a good drink. They're used as hanging baskets quite often. 25, 26, 27, 28. China doll. So, China dolls are huge divas. We might move that one from one side of the store 10 feet over, and it will be angry. Once they're in their spot, keep them in their spot. They'll become nice and big, beautiful plants. They don't like the cold. They do not like drafts. That's the main thing. Easy to care plant. Yes?
Okay, I just had a bad experience
curious with one of those.
Yeah.
I haven't hauled it out yet. It's the big long stem. Is it done for? No leaves are left on it.
So I would say look at the roots. See if there's some white life in there. When we first got them in, they hated us. And we had dang near the same thing. They will probably snap out of it. There will be some new growth. So it just got angry for whatever reason. I would definitely check down below and then start waiting for the little new life to start poking out.
Should I cut that tall stem?
No. Yep. As long as there's some white life underneath. 29. So this is a fiddle leaf fig. This is a little sunshine. So this will not get big like we see big fiddle leaf figs. They're called fiddle leaf fig just because of the leaf, kind of shaped like a fiddle. This one's going to always stay between the 3 and 6 foot height. They like a little bit more sunshine. Again, bigger leaves will want to be cleaned off a little bit more often, so we may have to miss those. So now we're at 30. Ooh. So we got a Dracaena marginata. It's braided, all cute like. Dracaenas there's a ton of these ones in the family. They do not like the sun. They will get sunburnt. They like shadier spots, a little bit away. Super easy. They are probably the 3rd easiest plant that I will recommend people towards after ZZ, after snake, then to the Dracaena family. The cat likes the dangly stuff?
I have a little houseplant plant, that's two plants.
Yeah.
And he eats the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So that's a tough plant because I've been burning mine up. I'm gonna move it tonight.
There you go. 31. Okay, we got a rubber tree. So it's also a type of ficus. These will get large if we keep them up there. They feel like rubber on the leaves. They used to be actually used to make some crappy rubber. So don't make your rubber out of that plant. Just love it. Let it grow nice and tall. Super easy to care for. Again, a little bit of sunshine, so somewhere somewhat near a window, just not right up in there, otherwise they could get burnt. But eventually you will get a nice tall tree. You can trim the leaves off if you want down below to make it more tree, or you can just cut off the top and make it more fuller down below. 32. So now we have another pothos, super easy. Everybody should have pothos. Let them go nuts. We got a nice little neon. So people like the neon just because it's a complete different color. And this one should go crazy around your house. 33.
So my pothos is flat. I hate to say it because you say it's how easy. My pothos needs light. The leaves on that are trailing on the floor are beautiful. But the pot or the plant itself is
Where do you have it located?
away from a window, but not far. Maybe it's too close.
Possibly. It could be getting a little too toasty up there. So again, I would just try moving it. So the pothos was a little flat on the top where the trails off. The leaves were nice and full. We're trying to figure out why it's not full up in the pot. Possibly getting a little too warm near a window, so we're pulling it away a little bit.
Will it regrow in the center, or will you have to take cuttings and put them up there?
We could have some new shoots popping up out of there for new babies. If we wanted to fill it up quicker, make it more instant, we would just take cuttings, get them rooted, pop them right down in there. Yeah. 33. So we have a black velvet here. The alocasia. You already killed one?
Yeah.
Didn't you just get that last week? So the leaf is nice and thick. They are going to be a little bit more finicky. The alocasias are kind of a tougher one. So we're going to want some more frequent, smaller waterings on those ones. And it should love you. So again, not right up in the window. Those big leaves will get sunburnt. Keep it away a little bit, and small little frequent waterings. So we're going to water that one about twice a week. Now we're at 35. We have a Hoya Bella. So Hoyas, super easy to care for. Hoyas are super popular right now. The Bella has smaller little leaves. These will kind of want to be treated like a succulent. We want to dry them out, give them a nice good watering, more towards the sun, and that's where we'll get a lot more growth. If we put some of these sun-loving plants that want some sunshine, if we put them in our shadier spot of our house, they'll always stay small. So if you have a plant that's not growing for a year, 2 years, let's try to give it a little bit more sunshine. So Hoyas like sunshine. They just don't want to be right up in the window. So now we're at 36. And we have another Chinese evergreen. This is the Siam Red. So again, pretty colors, super easy to care for. Just let it go nuts. Water once a week type thing. You're welcome. 37. We got a lipstick plant. So lipsticks are starting to bloom from people's houses right now. They're showing us lots of pictures. They're called a lipstick plant because the flower looks like a tube of lipstick peeking out. There you go. Treat it more like a succulent Hoya. Let it dry out. Give it a good watering, and somewhat close to the window, not right up in the window, a couple feet away. 38. So we are at a Dieffenbachia, which is also known as dumb cane. That's a way easier name to remember, dumb cane. Super easy to care for again. This is a compacta, so it's going to be somewhat smaller, like 2 by 2 foot. Simple watering, the normal, once a week. And 6, 37, 38, 39. You get that coolest little snake plant. So it's called a fernwood mikado. It will also kind of look like the starfish. Nice, thick, new growth coming out there. It will eventually grow like this big guy. Again, snake plant. You can separate it if you want, put it in a bigger pot, let it go nuts. Okay, we got 40. We have a rickrack cactus. So this is a cactus that we don't want to treat like a cactus. This one's going, oh yeah, of course. They want to have a little bit more frequent waterings than a normal cactus. They don't want to be up in the window. The rickracks, zigzags, another name for them. A little harder to find. Keep them away from the window, a good 5 foot or so.
Now, is that going to bloom or anything in time, or just the leaf?
It's pretty much just the leaf. Yep.
That's cute.
So they're just known for their cool looking leaves. 41. We have a spider plant. Spider plants, everybody should have one. Cats love them. They will eventually grow nice and big. We'll usually have them as a hanging plant just because they will start to shoot off little babies and they will just droop down. Super easy to propagate. If we wanted to start another one, we're going to just take this baby off and we're going to set it down on top of some soil. It's going to root itself you can have a lot of them.
Light?
Light, pretty much wherever, just not right up in the window. 42, we have a prayer plant, a red version. So there's a green version, a red version. The red has more red underside, cooler looking red lines on it. A prayer plant is known as a prayer plant because at night when it's happy, it's going to fold its leaf up in half like it's praying. And then it will open back up in the morning. Prayer plants are going to be a little more finicky. So that one wants to be damp. So you want that damp washcloth feeling. It's going to love humidity. If we do not have enough humidity for it, then the leaves will kind of curl up on the edges. They'll start turning brown. So we want to have it near a humidifier or a pebble tray for humidity. And when I say a pebble tray, we want some sort of tray. If it's a plate, if it's a big old seed potting tray, kind of put some rocks in there, fill it up. So then there's always humidity around your plant. So humidity loving plants, we could just set right there on the rocks. We don't want to have them sitting in the water because we don't want to drown those roots, but we want that humidity all around surrounding it. That one will eventually start reaching out and kind of stretching its limbs and throwing out more leaves. They are also known as for good hanging basket plants.
Hey everybody, will you fill out your sheets while you're sitting there? If you have suggestions for class that you would like, we can bring speakers in. So, as you're sitting there, please fill those up, just put them on the back table. Thank you.
So if you want to propagate this one, you would just go down all the way down to the root. Take it all the way down to the root.
For the prayer plant, yes, we'd have to.
Splice it off.
Yes. Yep. Number 43. So we got another philodendron. This is a red version. This is going to keep growing more and more red. It would like to climb something.
Okay.
And you can have it climb up a moss pole. It will start connecting. Or whatever. If you just put it up against the wall, it will eventually climb your wall and grow up. Bigger and bigger leaves.
In the house that climb the wall.
What's that?
I said there'll be two things in the house that'll climb the wall.
44. So now we have a monstera, type of philodendron. This thing will get massive. People love these because as the leaves get bigger and bigger, baby leaves are going to start off nice and cute looking, normal green leaf. Then they're going to start getting a little bit bigger. They're going to start throwing some holes in them. They're going to start doing this. As they get larger and larger, they're going to be a little different. They're going to be part this and part straight holes. You're going to have nice big head-sized leaves all over the place. This one will want to climb up, or you're just going to let it stretch out and take up your whole living room. So your choice. 45. All right. This is going to be a weapon. This is nice and sharp. This is a mongave. Type. You want to treat it like a succulent. It will get a little bit bigger, a few feet by few feet. This version is the Mission to Mars, just because it has, I guess, Mars colors. Who knows why they named it that? But it has pokey edges. It is sharp to the touch on the tips. Succulent family. 46. Way back there. So another Dracaena, easy care, not a lot of light. These ones are always going to stay nice and compact. 2 foot by 2 foot eventually. Some of these versions are grown into more tree versions. They got stumps on them, but that's just a compactor. That's going to be a nice, cute little green plant for us. Super easy to care. You could forget to water that plant for a month, and it's still going to love you. Now we're at, what, 45, 46, 47. So another prayer plant. This is the green version. So it's just going to have kind of the red dots. This also will pray. So again, simple care of keeping it humid. You got this.
Awesome.
Do you have one already?
I don't.
All right. You're welcome.
You gave away some bucks today.
Like $5 worth. Then the last one, what is that? 45, 46, 47, 48. We get a philodendron micans. So a tougher plant to find, so this is a good one to get. This one's going to be a nice, great trailing plant, a little bit smaller leaves. It's going to go crazy. It's going to grow very quickly, so give it some room to climb over whatever you want it to climb over. But good job. Okay, questions? Yes.
So like when you were pulling some plants out, you could see that the roots were, that was very root bound.
Yeah.
At that point. So when you get ready to repot, what do you recommend doing with those? Roots that are on the ground?
So question was, roots, nice and compact in your container. You're repotting it. What do we do when they're just spinning all around? We're going to break them up. So more than likely, if we just take that, wrapped up one, put it in a bigger pot, those roots are still just going to kind of wrap around. It's going to be a long time before they start stretching out. So we're going to get in there and we're going to break them apart. Just kind of like we're going to do with a tree. We're going to get pretty rough with them, a lot more aggressive than you would think. We're going to break them apart. So spread them out, let them start stretching, put them in its nice big container, and let them go.
Leave the parts in there. You don't have to throw them away if you break them off.
No, if you happen to break a little chunk off, just throw it back in there. Yeah. It probably won't do much, but makes you feel better.
So with our weather, if you don't have a humidifier, should you put like pots of water around, or is there any like hacks you can do if you do not have a humidifier?
So we don't have a humidifier. We want to get the humidity up. More plants. Lots of plants will help with that. If we just want to add some more, just do that simple tray. You can always just put a bucket of water over there. That's going to do the same thing. It's just not as pretty. So what I have at my house are just boot trays. Go to the box store, get a boot tray. You don't even notice them there at my house because I got so many plants on them. But that's where you can add the humidity right around your plants.
Bonsai trees, what's the secret to keeping them damn things alive?
Okay. Question was bonsai trees. What's the secret to keeping those damn things alive? So bonsai is a technique. It is not an actual plant. Probably about half these plants in here can be turned into a bonsai. So bonsai is a straight technique where we're going to have shallow root system and keep the plant mini version. With shallow roots, we want more frequent small waterings. If we water it like a normal plant, so if we take this croton, we bonsai it up, and we water it like we normally would, we're going to drown it because we want to cut those roots down too. We want small roots and shallow little trays. That's why you see the bonsai in those little skinny narrow pots, because we don't want a ton of roots. We don't want that plant to get massive like it normally would. We're keeping it miniature version. So that's what most people do. They don't realize that we need to cut back on the care, more frequent waterings with less water.
So like these small plants like this, should we repot for a bigger pot or just leave them for a bit?
Whatever your style is. So if you want to take them out. So the question was what we're doing with this UFO plant, this Chinese money plant, because there's little pups coming around the edges. If you want to just have one single plant, same thing with like the snake plants, we'll split those apart. We'll go down to that soil, split those other babies out, start some new plants. So how many plants could you get out of here? We got 1,
Well, at least
we're at 3. I'd keep this one all
Yeah.
stuck as 1, 1, 2. So you got 3 plants in there. So you could separate them, have 3 of them, or you can just keep them all right there and just get this nice big shrubby looking plant.
Share, Janet, share.
I have an aloe vera that's gotten really long and it's kind of gone over, and I know I need to repot it.
Okay.
But so it has a stem, say, about this far, the roots are down here.
Getting sticking out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So should I plant it deeper?
Yep. The question was aloe vera. Getting a little big for its pot, kind of stretching out so it has a nice little stem. We want to repot that, get that braced back down in the soil. We'll just put it down back in there a little bit more, get it secured so it's not so top heavy, and we'll just make it a little tougher.
Okay, so I want,
Oh, just a second.
when plants bloom, like I have a Thanksgiving cactus that blooms like 4 times a year,
Yeah.
or holiday, or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you fertilize? Do you not? Should you fertilize?
So the question was fertilizing when your plant's blooming. I fertilize all throughout the year. You're going to, again, read stuff that says, hey, don't fertilize during the winter. Do you think these plants really know that it's winter time in your house if you've had them there for years? They don't care. Fertilize them once a month. That's what I do with mine. They love it. So give them some food. Let them stay happy and healthy.
Do you have a special fertilizer you use? Just a houseplant fertilizer? Or?
I use all kinds of stuff. Mom loves it when I use the fish and seaweed fertilizer. Just smells up the store. I use that as a foliar spray also, that I will just put it in a spray bottle and I will spray the leaves. So when some plants will take that fertilizer straight through the leaves. So if you want to mist them, you'll leave a little residue on your plants if you use that fertilizer. And so that's when you go use your leaf shine then. Shine it back up.
So do you use a full strength?
No. I never use a full strength fertilizer anymore. They're all organic, they're real small amounts, and that's why I can use it more frequently. I could probably use them every single week on my weekly waterings, my bi-weekly waterings for my plants, just because they're smaller amounts. And the ones that I'm talking about are a liquid, so I just mix it in with my water. So whatever flavor I'm choosing, whichever one you guys like, if it's liquid, I don't measure it out anymore. I used to try to measure it out and say, okay, I got a half gallon. Trying to do math, it just hurts, so I don't do that anymore. I just take the cap full, I put it in this size container, or I'll put it in this size container. Plants love it, they're still happy, and I'm not doing math, so I'm happy. Outside stuff too, I will use the granulars mostly for outside. Inside, I don't use granulars nearly as much, just because it's usually a little stinkier, other than the fish and seaweed liquid. That's just why I don't use it. I will use it when I repot. I will use this stuff that has mycorrhizae in it for fertilizer that helps get the roots established more quickly and effectively. So every plant that I use this product where I will use it for a tree, shrub, vegetable, house plant. Every one that I replant, I throw it in. If you guys have ever, that one is called Biotone. It's from Espoma. So if you have bought a plant and a pot at our store and had us repot it, more than likely we threw that in there that you didn't even know that we added a little food for you. It's not going to hurt anything by having that and then fertilizing. It's just going to make your plants happier.
Where is your store?
You don't know where Rayne Gardens is? All right, who knows where Menards is? We're kind of close to there. Do you know where Sportsman's is, right next to Menards?
Actually, Universal Athletic.
Yeah, I know. Yep, so we are right in the field for our outdoor stuff, right next to Sportsman's. There's a big field right there. That's where our outdoor area is. That will be trees and shrubs. The greenhouses are right there that will have the annuals, the veggies, the perennials in. And then our store is the next building. There's a little shopping area right there. And then there's Universal Athletic. So we're right in between Sportsman's and Universal, right in the middle.
And it's
Yeah.
a delight.
So it's a little jungle in there right now. So when it's cold and nasty out, you come inside. Don't bring your coat because you'll get hot, because we have a jungly feeling.
I was gonna say something about a monster. I have one that I just got a clipping off of, and I did not propagate it. The roots were really crazy and long, just coming out of the dirt, and I just cut it off and stick it in the dirt, and it's been a couple months now, and it's not dead. So I didn't put it in water, and it's still doing okay.
Yeah, so a lot of them, we will have success just like Catherine has. You just stick that cutting right down in there, and we can have some good success as long as we're taking care of it. The reason that we don't usually do that is because most of us aren't quite the plant parents that we hope to be yet, and so that we have to see how we're going to grow them. So we shove them in water so we can see that root coming out, and then we'll transplant it once we know we got it rooted.
Where'd that line pothos go to? I have one of those, but the newer growth is the lime green, but the older growth is turning dark, the regular green.
Put it a little closer to the light. So the question was, the color was going away from a neon pothos. So that bright lime colored, we want to keep that. So just like that pink arrowhead, wherever that went, push it a little closer to the light so we can keep the color. So if we push them back, most plants are going to just go back to their normal green